Hey guys, how's it going? And happy Wednesday. I hope all of you are doing good. Yes, this is 3 nights in a row that I've been streaming about urgent Michigan gun control that they are rushing through the House of Representatives and now the Senate as well. So we covered the bills in depth on Monday and Tuesday evening. I'm not going to do that so much tonight, but let you know that there is a breaking new development that just happened late in the day today. And it might show, and I say might, we're going to get into this in just a little minute. Being a live stream, we have a little longer to talk about things. It might show that some of your efforts are paying off. Maybe we did rattle their cage just a little bit. So, real quick, just to summarize, and I did put out by popular request a 14-minute video on YouTube just within the last hour, briefly summarizing all 6 of these gun control bills that are getting ramrodded through the Michigan lame duck session, meaning, yes, Republicans have taken control of the Michigan House of Representatives. That does not go into effect until January. And I didn't think I needed to say this, but maybe I do, just based on stuff friends have been telling me. Yes, Trump is the president-elect of the United States. Yes, Trump won Michigan, which unfortunately has nothing to do, like zero to do with how the Democrat-controlled legislature is going to vote while they're still in power. So be excited about Trump being in office. I know many of you are. And if you're not excited, then be unexcited. Like, do what you do. But that has nothing to do with this. So today, and I watched this while it happened. Couldn't get on live with you guys earlier due to where I was, but Michigan House Bill 4127 and 4128. Again, if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. Don't forget the like button and subscribe if you like this type of information. We cover national events here, but since I live in Michigan, you're going to see a lot of Michigan coverage. And in many cases, I'm the only one even doing videos on this stuff. So I'm trying to get it out to you. 4127 and 4128 did pass. All right. Again, more information, go back and watch those previous live streams or that 14-minute video I posted on party lines. Every Democrat voted for. In this case, the Republicans all voted against, and that narrow 2-seat majority did win out. So these are passed in the House, which just now means they have to pass the Senate. Look, I was talking to my senator today. I'm like, is there any reasonable Democrats left, like at all? Like, I already know the answer, but I'm like, is there anyone you can talk to remind them that, hey, like, because look, they're going after CPL holders too in a big way. Like, remind them that these are the quote law-abiding citizens and these people vote. There might be a way to appeal. He said he's going to work on it, but it's tough. It's tough to get anybody to come over on the other side of the aisle when it comes to Republicans talking Democrats into doing things. Republicans will vote for gun control sometimes, as we've seen within the past year. Democrats have yet to vote against gun control, not even once in Michigan, in the Senate or the House. So with that said, these are probably going to pass the Senate. And if they get through the Senate, they will be public act, meaning law. And this is going to concern banning guns around all these different polling places, drop boxes, early voting places, more places than you could possibly even know probably. So things are going to drastically change. And hey, if you want to exercise your ability to vote, you might have to trade that for your right to keep and bear arms. These did pass the House today. Now we're going to get into the real juicy ones where they're virtually going to ban CPL holders in Michigan. We're going to get into the possible, and I say possible, maybe sudden breaking change in events in just a few minutes here, all right? But back to what passed the House today. House Bill 5450, 5451. These both passed. This is where there's going to be letters sent from the school via your child back to your house, educating your child on how the firearms should be stored according to this tyrannical government within the home. Indoctrinating that it's not okay the way mom and dad store their firearms in the home. The man of the house won't be the man of the house anymore when it comes to guns because they're trying to use your children. In my opinion, this is all this is. as a wedge to where the nannies stay, and the jackboot will be the man of your house. You know what? People just took the Second Amendment for granted for so long. And there's lots of problems right now. It's a battle of good versus evil, that's for sure. But by people just taking things for granted and sitting back on their haunches for so long, oh, we're ready, but we don't need to worry because we have the 2A and ain't nobody coming for your guns and all this BS talk we've all heard forever. Good times make weak men, and we have weak men in this country right now for the most part. I know not all of you are, but for the most part, just think of all the typical NPC normies you see droning around, not even paying attention. Well, now I want to remove you from the man of the house and say the school is now the man of your house and decides how you're going to store your guns within your home. The bill already passed telling you how to store the guns when there's children around or in the home or might be coming over. Now they're going to be disseminating information on that through your children, putting it on the website, and by the way, giving themselves complete immunity. We're going over these real quick because we've talked about them before, but there's always new viewers who I do welcome, and glad to see you guys all getting involved in this stuff. These passed the House today, the House of Representatives in Michigan on party lines. I was literally talking to some representatives as it was happening. Talked to my state senator, Bellino, today. He's on it as far as when these come over to the Senate. And also pertaining to these Senate bills. Now, I talked about these in that short video, and I also talked about them last night. If you guys want a short video again, welcome. Go over and check out that 14-minute video I posted and share it with all your friends in Michigan and elsewhere, because this could happen anywhere. So there could be a sudden change of events with these two bills that are basically going to ban thousands of places in Michigan for CPL holders and non-CPL holders where you wouldn't be able to possess, including even in the parking lots of these places. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, I'm just going to take 2 minutes, because this is always really important to me, to thank all of you guys for the many ways you support the channel. Thank you to all of my YouTube channel members. You guys get extra emojis, extra content you can find on the 2A EDU community tab. Also, thanks to my Patreon supporters, where I give you guys some bonus content as well. Also, thank you for those of you who leave super chats during these live streams. I always enjoy reading those. And look, you guys are the sponsors of this channel. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm not a lobbyist. I'm a landscaper, and it's through all the generous support from you all that I can stop working. I have to actually stop working during the day to do all of this stuff. So thank you. Also, my local supporters. Locals is another site, censorship free. We just had a great time this last Saturday night doing a live stream there where we touch guns, and we do that every Saturday. You can support there, or you can actually join totally free. So make sure you guys are all members of the 2A EDU locals community, as well as their sister company. It's like this big green mean site that YouTube doesn't even like you to utter the name of. Like, I love being here. I'm glad we're here because of the reach we have, getting more good people informed. But yeah, this is a highly censored site that doesn't probably like what we're talking about. Go to the site that rhymes with fumble and follow me there as well. I do a live stream every week. That's down in the description. And also check out my X and myriad social. So thanks for the support. And there's some good deals down in the description right now that'll save you some money. Really nice stuff like Targets, coffee, and more. If you use those links to make your purchase, that'll help the channel a little bit as well. So Senate Bills 858, 857. I'm going to assume that most of you kind of had a chance to be briefed on these through my live stream last night, as well as my shorter video. But real quick, when you couple these together, it's going to take this list of places where some places you can't carry at all, even with a CPL. Some you can. This is going to now cast a wide net of places. This is as these bills are written right now, to make it where you wouldn't be able to carry in places such as, or possess, like at all, whether openly or concealed, with a CPL or without. This would include the parking lots of all of these premises, okay? And thank you for all of you who are saying, hey, man, we appreciate the info. I'm here for you guys. So it does help to know that you guys are getting good, hopefully motivation or knowledge about this stuff, because if it wasn't useful to any of you, I wouldn't even do this. So thank you for telling me, because I am trying to help get you guys informed, because look, like talking about Michigan's not really cool on the national level for whatever reason. The gun rights groups ain't really suing much in Michigan, the national groups. It's kind of like we're just left by ourselves. And for all of you who don't live in Michigan, thank you so much for the support. So you wouldn't be able to possess, including the parking lots of places like a depository financial institution or a subsidiary or affiliate of a depository financial institution. Dude, that alone could be just so many places. If they have an ATM somewhere, does that mean it's now a subsidiary of a bank? Probably, actually. I wouldn't want to find out. This is like that FAFO, like F around and find out. And you're supposed to be so scared, you just leave your gun at home. Within 40 days of a vote, early voting, a ballot drop box, these things are all over the place. We don't even know where they're at. Those bills passed. Now we combine it with this, right? And it's like, so you might know what a bank when you see it, but do you know all of their subsidiaries? Your bank could be part of an investment group that owns many different companies. And you wouldn't even be able to go to those places with a gun, even if you're like turning around in their parking lot. Now, remember, these laws only affect the law abiding. They don't affect criminals. And when guns are outlawed, only outlaws will own guns. Some of you may follow laws, some of you may not. I can't encourage you to break laws, but I'm just saying some of you are going to say, shall not comply. Some of you guys are worried like crazy. It's just, these would be the laws if these bills pass, and they are shoving them through the Senate committee literally tomorrow. But there may be a twist, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. So all these different affiliates or depository financial institutions or subsidiaries, a church or other house of religious worship, a court, a theater, a sports arena, a daycare center, a hospital, and this is the biggie, an establishment license under the Michigan Liquor Code. So anyone with a liquor license, which is like most of your party stores, many gas stations now, grocery stores, obviously liquor store, restaurant that serves, you know what I mean? The Michigan State Capitol building, the Anderson House Office building, that's where the reps have their offices. The Bensfield Senate Office building, that's where the senators have their office. Now, non-CPL holders are already banned. Shouldn't need a CPL. The Second Amendment means you can keep and bear arms wherever the hell you want. And I'm a purist, guys. I believe the First and Second Amendment and all 10 mean what they say and say what they mean. It used to have an exception saying a person licensed by this state or another state to carry a concealed weapon. That was an exemption from those. Now they've added these 3 at the Capitol. They crossed out that exemption. A person who possesses a firearm on the premises of an entity described in subsection 1, if you're the owner, so that's still an exemption, but you don't own most of these places, and you're not going to get permission in writing when you're just going up to Walmart to grab a new pair of socks or a beer or a gallon of ice cream or whatever, you know, or to pull in their parking lot to change a flat tire and the cop comes up, like I've talked about in my recent video. Of course, they're going to exempt their own. Any sitting member of the Michigan House of Representatives or Senate with a CPL, they won't have to abide by this when it comes to the 3 buildings there at the state capitol. When you combine it with 857, it even includes getting rid of the parking lot exemption, meaning a lot of places you can't maybe carry it into the theater, but you could keep it, let's say, locked in a lockbox or a locked compartment of your vehicle in the parking lot. They've gotten rid of the parking lot of the premise exemption here too. So as these bills are written right now, this is going to virtually ban CPLs in Michigan and make it where it's just such a complicated web of entrapment. Many people who choose to abide by the law will be afraid to even carry anywhere because you could never even know when you're in a place that's one of these or a subsidiary or affiliate thereof. Anne Marie just dropped in with a generous $20 super chat. Thank you, Anne. Nice to see you, by the way. I hope you're doing good. She says, stopping in to say hello. Well, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thanks for saying hi. And I hope you're good. I hadn't seen you in the last couple live streams on YouTube. And I was starting to wonder, is our girl Ann okay? You've been an important member of this community for a long time. And then I saw she reposted something that I put on X. So make sure you guys are following her over there. I'm like, she's all right. She's just been busy and hasn't been able to join the Friday streams, which is totally fine, Ann. Don't feel guilty. It's just when you see somebody every week and then you don't see them for a while, you want to make sure they're okay. Right, guys? You guys want to make sure Ann and all the regulars are doing good, don't you? So look, I've been talking to representatives. I've been talking to senators. I've been talking to all of you. And that's actually the most important thing, is all of us. Because there's a heck of a lot more of us than there are Michigan representatives and senators. And they all work for us. These are public servants. They're there to serve at the pleasure of us, we the people. Now, Michigan spoke and said, we're going to flip the House of Representatives to Republican. I'm not a big fan of either political party, and I think you guys know that if you follow me. But look, at the same time, probably better, certainly less worse, right? I'm optimistic of that. No, this is called the lame duck, meaning the Dems are ready to lose control. But they actually still have over a month and a half to do whatever they want unchecked. Now, it's not of good etiquette. It used to be customary where during a lame duck, you didn't really put much through because the will of the people have spoken. It's like, get the hint, you're on your way out. But that's something more like Republicans usually do, is follow proper etiquette and do all of that. Democrats, not anymore. Not anymore. Maybe there was a time. I don't know. You guys tell me. But nowadays, there really isn't any such thing on the state level or federal level for the most part of being a moderate Democrat. They just ramrod everything through. So 4 of these 6 bills did pass the House today. Unfortunately, expected to pass the Senate. These CPL, guts the CPL bills, okay, are going to be going through a Senate committee hearing, rushed through tomorrow. Now, here's an interesting thing. I told you I've been talking to my friend Brendan from Great Lakes Gun Rights. It's a good local group here in Michigan. I would suggest being a member of if you guys, want to join a gun rights group on the local level. We've been talking back and forth about strategy, and he has inside sources. I have inside sources, and I was literally talking to reps like as these things were popping up on the board today, like stopping my work. Hold on a minute. Let me turn my blower off so I can hear. And I mean, it got chaotic today. And that Pohutsky got up there and literally was doing her whole immediate effect is granted. Abraham Ayash would get up there. That's the minority. That's the majority leader. Majority. I say minority because they're going to be. But right now, it's the majority leader. She's like, the majority leaders recognize. He goes, I'm moving to the. That's what he says. I'm moving to the. Like, he literally mumbles. Isn't even. Look, this is stripping away your natural God-given right to keep and bear arms. He can't even be bothered with enunciating his speech. I move for immediate effect. That's him saying he moves for immediate effect. And then she says the clerk will open the board. And then he sits there and you hear this. He hits this little piece of wood with his pencil real fast. And then she goes, immediate effects granted. All that dog and pony show stuff you guys have seen on this channel in the past. And if not, go back and look in the archives of the live streams in the middle of the night. You'll see what I mean. They ramrodded it through, immediate effect in the House, just like normal. Very disrespectfully, Pohutsky gaveling down Josh Shriver when he was trying to go against this new hate crime, hate speech bill that passed the Michigan House. Look, it's not just gun control. They're passing every woke thing they possibly can, cramming it down our throats. You can change your driver's license or state ID to where instead of a male or female, you now identify as X. You can change your birth certificate just with like a little form you fill out. I mean, look, we'll stick to the Second Amendment. Let me get back. But they're just cramming everything and anything you can think of through here right now, which is crazy. Now, I've been, informing you guys, trying to rally the troops, trying to remind you guys these are fundamental rights. These are natural rights. This needs to stop, and this is crazy. You need to remind them they are not going to get reelected ever again. Like, look, the Senate, if the Democrats wanted to flip red and to stay red for the next 20 years, they're going to keep doing crazy stuff like this during a lame duck. And maybe You know, I say maybe because this isn't done yet, but maybe they actually listen to us. There's an article that just popped up late this evening, and this is from the Detroit News. Ban limiting where CPL holders can carry guns will change, Michigan Democrats say. So hold on a minute, guys. This is as that old saying goes, so they say. I'm not saying we believe them right now, but this is very interesting. So in a sudden change of events, and this is by Craig Mauger with the Detroit News. This is not a friend of the 2A, in my opinion, this author here. But hey, this is out of Lansing, Michigan. A portion of a Michigan Senate bill that would significantly limit the places where individuals with concealed pistol licenses can carry their weapons won't advance in the state legislature, a spokeswoman for Senate Democrats said Wednesday. Like, they literally rushed this thing through and have a committee hearing scheduled for it tomorrow. And now they're saying it won't advance the way it is. Look, guys, I'm totally able to compartmentalize this stuff. I hope you guys can too. I'm not saying we're winning the war right now in Michigan. Maybe we are long term. Maybe we're not. Maybe they're retreating somewhat in this one small battle. Now, I'm still not going to agree with their outcome, but maybe enough of you guys called and wrote, and maybe they're listening. Not because they're good people, not because they love the Second Amendment, but maybe they're afraid of their losing their power. So on Thursday, the Michigan Senate's Civil Rights, Judiciary, and Public Safety Committee is scheduled to consider a two-bill package that would alter state law to generally prohibit guns at the Michigan State Capitol, the Anderson House Office Building, and the Bensfield Senate Office Building in Lansing. Now, look, it gets rid of that exemption in there that I've showed you guys in plain English. It does much more than that. And by the way, this is the big news. This is like professional journalists who make a lot of money doing this. They were like 24 to 48 hours behind on all this of this channel right here. And they're still not telling you the whole story, but I'll continue. One of the bills also featured a proposed change in law that would have barred those licensed to carry concealed weapons from having their firearms inside of churches, sports arenas, hospitals, and businesses licensed through the state's liquor control code. Yeah, and a lot more other places that we've talked about thoroughly here. The organization, Great Lakes Gun Rights, posted on social media that the proposal, as originally written, and like I said, you can't make this stuff up. When I say me and Brendan Boudreaux have been talking and brainstorming about this the last 3 days, it's because we have. And the other side's noticing, would have made it illegal for concealed pistol license holders to carry in, quote, thousands of places where they can carry under current law. This isn't about gun safety, Great Lakes Gun Rights wrote on the website X. This isn't about going after criminals. This is about making self-defense virtually illegal in Michigan. And that's what these bills, and I still have to say it this way, as they are currently written right now. This is 8:44 p.m. on November 13th. As of right now, that is what these bills do. Okay? And these bills are still scheduled for committee hearing, as far as I know, tomorrow. So we'll see. But, so here's a but. Rosie Jones, spokeswoman for Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks, Democrat from Grand Rapids, said the intent of the bills was simply to focus on the Capitol and House and Senate office buildings in downtown Lansing. So I don't want to say this is a big win for us here because I do not agree whatsoever. I 100% disavow a ban at any of these buildings. The Capitol building, look, the Capitol building's been in Michigan since the 1800s. All right? Over 100 years, right around the turn of the century. There's never been a shooting in there, and it's been open carry. It's been a place where you could have guns all these years. Because gun-free zones are criminal empowerment zones, and criminals don't stop just because it's a gun-free zone. But she says, no, the intent of the bill was simply to focus on the Capitol and House and Senate office buildings in downtown Lansing. But that's not what it was. They literally got rid of the exemption that for all of these places, making it criminal for all these places, including even parking lots. That's literally what the bill said. They tried to do the old smoke and mirrors. They tried to pull the old 1-2 on all of you, thinking you'd be sleeping. But 2A EDU caught them. Great Lakes Gun Rights caught them, and probably other people that I don't know about, but we caught them in the act. Then they came out and said, now here's another quote. Quote, there will be changes made to the bill to make that clear, Jones said in a statement. So this is a staffer for the leadership of the Senate. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean you guys give them a pass. This doesn't mean this is okay. One more time. And I hate even saying this, but it's less worse if it only bans it in these 3 buildings than if it bans it in these 3 buildings and also bans it virtually anywhere and everywhere you could think of. Don't think for 1 minute that I'm conceding on this. I just want to make this very clear. All my regulars, you guys know where I'm at with this. I even got a lot of my regulars mad at me last night because I'm like so purist on the First Amendment. I'm not conceding this is okay, but what I am telling you is this. When they drop back, when they pull their ranks back, when they start pulling back a little bit, that shows that whatever you guys have been doing the last 24 and 48 hours, you've been hollering, you've been, like I said, carrier pigeon, smoke signal, email, calls. Maybe some of you went to their offices and had a chat with them. Whatever you guys have been doing, it's moving in the right direction, I think. In 2023, the Michigan Capitol Commission, and we reported on that here, voted to generally ban guns inside the state capitol. And the entrance to the building now features a weapon detection system manned by Michigan State police troopers. Look, it's actually this whole AI system, and it's actually way more deep state than even just weapons. Now, that's bad enough in and of itself, but it's actually more draconian than that, just to let you guys know. Senator Dana Hapola-Hankey. Oh, gee, some of these people are real beauties. These are not good-looking people inside or out. Some people call her Pola Hanky Panky. I'm just saying, that's what some people call her. Democrat from Livonia has previously called for putting the commission's policy into state law, noting that the thousands of students visit the Capitol for field trips each year, and they were protected by good people that carried guns all those years. Yeah, I mean, this is a hypnosis of the Borg. It's all kinds of things. Threaded for my pleasure. How you doing, man? I was just talking about you. Like, I think it was yesterday. I hope you're okay, man. I haven't seen you lately either. And just like I said to Anne Marie, just because I say I miss you guys and I'm glad to see you and I hope you're okay, don't feel guilty. You guys have been busy. You do not need to watch every stream. But threaded for my pleasure, one of my longtime friends. Me and him go way back, guys. He's a good man. I hope you're doing good, dude. I really do. Pola Hankey sponsored one of the 2 bills that will go before the Senate committee on Thursday. Senator Rosemary Bayer, she's the leader of the anti-Second Amendment caucus, out of West Bloomfield, Democrat, sponsored the other, which featured the broader change on where those concealed pistol licenses could carry weapons. On Wednesday, Pola Hankey said there was a drafting error in Bayer's bill that is being fixed. Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, oh, geez, it was an error. My mistake. You got busted. Like, this is just crazy how this stuff works, guys. All right. However, it says Tom Lambert. All right. He knows what's going on. Tom Lambert, legislative director for the organization Michigan Open Carry, said he believes the language that the Senate Democrats say they'll change was intentional. I think I agree with Tom on this one. This should have jumped out at them immediately, Lambert says. Well, yeah. Dude, here I am being a landscaper, right? And I'm able to immediately look at this stuff for about 5 minutes flat. I had a Lansing insider say, look, this stuff's on the agenda, dude. I'm like, no way. So I get the bills. I read it. You know what I'm saying? My carrier pigeon brought it to me. You have to go low tech when you're going behind the scenes on all this stuff to stay under the radar, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, they just struck out the exemptions. Unintentionally, allegedly. The bills were first introduced in May. Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt, Republican of Porter Township, said the bills were a, quote, last-ditch effort by lame duck Democrats to essentially ban concealed carry across the state. Guys, I was not being dramatic at all, like in my titles of my videos. Like, this would have essentially, virtually banned CPL holders. Like, it would have just been insane if you're a law-abiding type. Look, if you follow laws, it would have made it virtually insane for you to even like go around carrying a gun, because the webs were so complicated and overlapping, especially with 4127, 4128, anywhere around an election, even months before elections, and polling places and counting places and ballot drop boxes, coupled with now they're trying to get your children indoctrinated with literature to, in my opinion, rat out parents from within the home. I mean, all of this stuff going on at once. And they're like, oh, it's probably just a clerical error. It's despicable, and Senate Republicans will fight it every step of the way, Nesbitt said. And I talked to my state senator, Joe Bellino, today, and he said, I'm fighting it every step of the way. So we do have some fighters in the Senate for the Second Amendment, in the minority, unfortunately, right now. In the November 5th elections, Republicans won control of the state house, giving Michigan Democrats until the end of the year to use their majorities to pass measures the GOP might oppose. And I would say it's not that the GOP might oppose, that the Constitution might oppose, or definitely opposes. The Anderson House Office Building currently has a screening system in its lobby and an internal policy that bans employees of the House from being able to carry firearms on House property. But I would note, if you go there with a concealed pistol license, okay, as of right now, you can still get into the House Office Building. If you don't have a concealed pistol license, no. The Bensfield Senate Office Building currently has no similar screening system in its lobby. Under the bills, a lawmaker, so the reps and the senators, with a concealed pistol license would still be able to carry a weapon in the buildings. So to recap, it's not a victory to have it where you're still banned from these three places. Look, these people work for us. You should not have to give up your First Amendment protected right to petition your government for a redress of grievance, to peaceably assemble, to simply speak in the Capitol to each other or to our reps or whoever happens to be there. Like, that is not okay, and that'll never be okay. You should never have to give up a Second Amendment protected right to exercise a First Amendment protected right. That's not how that works. These rights are supposed to be intertwined. It's not supposed to be choose between this or this, because you can't have both. So this is despicable. But I will say, the way the bill is written right now, and it's still accurate at the time I'm doing this video, this is very important, because tomorrow somebody's going to say when they watch, but 2A EDU, they removed that part. Okay, look, I don't know if we can believe the Democrats or not, but if they're to be believed, they're alleging that it was a mistake that they had virtually banned CPL holders from everywhere in the whole state. And all they wanted to do, and I'm using air quotes, their words, all we wanted to do is just ban from these three additional buildings. So here's what I understand is likely. From the reporting here, and he's not out and out saying this author, maybe I have better inside sources than he does, but from some of my inside sources, and I have to be real vague like that because, look, I don't want the other side to know who my sources are. I think you guys understand that and appreciate that, right? You don't want your enemy to know your whole plan or who your sources are. So here's the thing. If they do this, from what I understand, they're probably going to get rid of the striking out of this exemption. All right. So here, just give me a moment, guys. I have a whole stack of gun control bills that are going through, okay? Right now, like 4 passed the House today, Senate hearings on these 2 tomorrow. Okay, so C, which was in the old law, a person licensed by this state or another state to carry a concealed weapon. I think we're going to expect a new draft to come out where that's no longer crossed out. These will still be there, though. That's very unconstitutional, and I oppose vehemently. So don't say, look, we won. They're not banning our CPLs almost everywhere in the whole state, so this is good. No. That's not, still not okay at all. But I want you guys to understand that from your efforts, apparently, it's been apparent that people have been giving them some major pushback, okay? And probably just for political reasons. One more time, not because they're good people, not because they like us, not because they like the Constitution. In my opinion, these Democrats hate America and every part of it. And in my opinion, they hate people like me and people like you, but maybe for power reasons or trying to get reelected reasons. Whatever the reasons are, and you guys can fill in the blanks, chime in the chat or in the comments if you're watching on replay. We've created enough of a stink where they're backpedaling some. And I know a lot of viewers are military strategists and a lot of you guys are political strategists. Maybe you guys can tell me, but you don't say I won because they backed up a little bit. But I think in order to win, you have to first get them to start backing up and backing off. I'm loath to use the word this is a victory because the bill's still terrible, but I think it's encouraging. It's encouraging to the point that they were just going to ram this bill through, which was going to ban CPLs in thousands of places, criminalize untold millions of people in this state. Like they literally would have had the prisons overflowing with all of us, right? If they were to be prosecuting these. And now they're saying, oh, that was an error. We need to look. I'm going to look for the new substitutes and the new drafts they're going to put out for these. They might get rid of this strikeout in 857 where there was an exemption before that said is used in subsection 1 premises does not include essentially the parking lot. Parking areas of the places identified under subsection. They might be getting rid of that cross out too. But I do have on good accord that they are going to be going back. Again, the Democrats are stating they're going to go back and remove some of the verbiage from this and probably remove some of those strikeouts, which would in turn give the exemption back to CPL holders. Now, this is all hypothetical because we have to actually see these bills before we're going to believe anything. I still say that you guys, yet again tonight, if you're sending emails, tomorrow if you're trying to make calls during their office hours, okay, still call to your senators and representatives to oppose the Senate bills 857 and 858. Even if there's a modified version that just simply, and I'm using air quotes, just simply bans these three buildings, no big deal, say the Democrats, right? No, that's still a big deal to all of us, isn't it? And still tell both chambers, the House and Senate, no. If you want to find your Michigan representative or Michigan senator, just go into your search engine of choice, type in Michigan House of Representatives. Right there on the homepage, you can put your address in, and it'll tell you where your rep is. You can just type in Michigan Senate. It'll be the top search result. Go to the Michigan Senate page. There'll be a Find Your Senator. It's real easy to do, guys. Now, when it comes to Michigan House Bills 5450, 5451, 4127, and 4128, you guys surprised I remember all this? This is a lot that's gotten dumped on us in 72 hours. These have already passed the Michigan House of Representatives. Okay. You can still call them all you want on these. That's fine. That's your right. I encourage discourse about these matters with your public servants. But it'd probably be better. We have JamCM0522 just started following me on that site that rhymes with fumble. Good. We have good live streams there on the weekends, guys. But if you only have limited time, probably press your senators in Michigan to vote no on these because these are headed to the Senate. These 4 gun control House bills. They did pass the House. They passed the House with immediate effect. In typical Lori Pohutsky, gavel it down, right down your throat style, right? So there you go. I'm going to briefly look at the chat here, and I'm going to think we're good. We're going to jump off in a minute. I wanted to give you guys a chance to talk and be here for each other. That's why I've been doing these in live stream form. I also did that 14-minute video, more concisely packaging all 6 of these together for all of you. I didn't include in that video the sudden twist because this was coming through as I was recording that video. So I did talk about that here. Let me take a look at the chat. Any questions? Mr. C, thank you for sponsoring the show tonight with a $2 super chat and a channel member. says if I designate as criminal, do I not need a gun license? Hey, look, man, I'm just saying, you know, interesting the way you word that. I think it's clever, but it's like, look, these laws only affect the law abiding. Criminals don't follow laws. It's up to you guys to decide, you know, which laws you follow or don't. Again, publicly, I'm not going to encourage you guys to break laws. Okay, I wouldn't do that here. But at the same time, what is the law of the land? The stuff passed by the legislature, the Constitution. When will the courts weigh in on this stuff? Will they ever? On the state level, it's not looking good. The Michigan Supreme Court just shifted even further liberal, further to the left. People don't pay attention to judges, do they? Trump takes Michigan. Michigan flips the House red. Slotkin barely beat Rogers, but I have a good idea why that is. That was like two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? That was like, do you want the CIA Fed boy or the FBI Fed boy? You know, do you want the Fed boy or the CIA? You know, I mean, both pretty deep state, let's face it. And I don't know if that's anything controversial to say. I think even most Republicans would admit to that one. So that race didn't surprise me too much. But the Supreme Court justices, the leftist candidates smoked the two conservative candidates by like huge, like 20-something percentage points. It was insane. So that means there was literally like hundreds of thousands of people in Michigan that are like, I shall vote for a Republican representative and I shall vote for Donald Trump. Now let's vote for the farthest left communist judge I possibly can. I don't understand why. I truly don't. But that did happen on the ballots. Like Trump wins Michigan. That Trump was on everyone's ballot. The Michigan Supreme Court justices were on everybody's ballot. Trump wins. The two most radical leftist Supreme Court justices win. Michigan takes back the House. And they didn't just win by a little bit, guys. Go look it up. I hate to say it. It's embarrassing. It's bad. The two conservatives that ran for the Supreme Court lost for like 20, and I think it was even higher than 20 percentage points. Like, wow. So the courts will save us. I wouldn't count on that on the state level, guys, for a while. For a long time. Hey, Michigan went for Trump. Okay. The United States went for Trump. Michigan went for flipping the House back over to Republican. But even conservatives in Michigan want them some leftist communists to the left of Mao and Stalin, Supreme Court justices. It just is what it is. Now, here's the crazy part. I'll give you guys another little insider info here that I got. This is crazy. Did you guys know this? Speaking of elections, hold on a minute. Okay, so Representative Hadsma lost, right, to incoming Representative Frisbee, Representative-elect Frisbee. Now it looks like Hadsma's getting the AV ballots in Battle Creek retabulated, okay, which according to my source, I'm not going to say who it is not legal. The numbers matched. Looks like he's going around the law, and the Board of Canvassers went along with it. So maybe the Republican canvassers aren't fighting for us as hard as they should be there. So as we speak, okay, allegedly YouTube, as we speak, they might be trying to flip one of those Republican won House seats back to Democrat. I don't know if you guys even knew about that. Okay. So let's just keep this in mind. This is breaking news. Maybe there's more information on the internet about this. Maybe there's not. I have not had time to go down that rabbit hole yet because I'm literally sitting here like I try to be as professional as I can, but I'm sitting here being like, look, guys, you know, I mean, it's hard to even look. This is stuff that's either passed the House or is going to Senate committee tomorrow, just like all within 72 hours. But it appears, okay, from information that I have that the Democrats are trying to flip are trying to flip it back and steal the house back. Like, like literally, look into this stuff. You can't even make this up. Kamala. Have you heard of her? I'm going to be very polite tonight. I was rude to camels before the race was over. Well, the race isn't actually over. Kamala's out right now, putting out commercials to raise funds for her campaign for a recount. You guys do know that, right? Like, they're literally raising money right now to try to recount for the presidential election. There's representatives right now as we speak in the United States Congress working on, they call it the resolution. They're working on the resolution that would stop Trump from being seated. They're working on stuff with the 14th Amendment. As we speak, Democrats are now talking about their J6. Like, they're literally going around, allegedly, election laws right now in Michigan, okay, going through and trying to flip a seat that's been won by a Republican. We say the Republicans took the House, and I hope it just stays that way in Michigan. That may not be a done deal if they're getting in there flipping these seats. Now, FEMA's in Michigan right now. Oh, my screen's going to blur when I say this. FEMA's in Michigan right now. They'll probably make sure everything's okay with everything. Like, it's always a welcoming sign to have FEMA come in real deep and, you know, fill up your state. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay, hold on a minute. Wow. See, I tell you guys, I'm like, look, I need to, and I did. As soon as I found out about these bills a couple days ago, before I even, look, and you guys understand this, I hope, before I even did the videos, first calls to my state representative, making sure that she knows about this stuff immediately so she can get on it. She was on it, knew what was coming. So I got a hold of my state rep first, okay? Because I knew it was getting voted in the House. Talked to my state senator very shortly thereafter. Got to do that. Then I bring the news to you guys. Now I see, as we speak, my 14-minute video that I just put out a little bit ago. I see my state representatives chiming into the comments here. If you're watching, come into the chat and you can chat with these guys before we get off. Says if they voted straight Republican, the judges were nonpartisan, so they did not get that vote. Okay, that's interesting. Is that what a lot of people do? See, I didn't think about that. See, you guys have to remember, look, Jamie Thompson, that's my rep. I'm behind her. She's working on stuff for the Second Amendment that we're not even going to talk about publicly right now that you guys are going to love. But look, I'm not a Republican, though. That's the thing. Like, everyone just assumes I am. Look, I don't vote for a Democrat no matter what. Like, I don't vote for a Democrat. I'm not a libertarian either, but I'm also not a Republican. I would never just vote straight ticket. I would never just vote straight ticket Republican. I literally go one by one down each one. And I am that guy that literally goes through and finds out who's on the local community college board. Township? Oh, shoot, I've got half my township trustees and supervisor and clerk and in my cell phone. So from township level all the way on up, I keep track of all of these people, not just like the day before the election, but like ongoing. So I just assume that most people, like, at least, like, look, you don't have to follow it as much as I do. Like, I totally get it. I don't even recommend following it as much as I do. Just watch my channel and I'll keep you guys informed on Michigan 2A stuff. But, like, do a lot of people just vote straight ticket? Is that what happens? You might be onto something, Jamie. Second, people did not take the time to look them up. Third, a lot of people just voted for Trump and no one else. Fourth, the Michigan GOP did not invest the money in the judge races. Okay. Yes, this is the live, Jamie. There she is right there. Here's our favorite state representative who literally voted no. She voted no, 4 times today on gun control? Dude, I was watching Jamie when I was watching that board. I was watching this stuff in real time, and she just kept showing up on that that voting board red, 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 red. I mean, essentially red all day from what I was seeing. That's no votes, by the way. She was voting no on all this crap. I know Jamie voted no on House Bill 5451 today. Yeah, Jamie, you're in the right place right now. While I was live, she was leaving a comment. I know. She's like, these look virtually the same. Dude, isn't this crazy that I even have to be on here like 2-3 times a day right now because they're passing this much gun control? But it looks like the Senate, if you're just joining, the Senate is backtracking a lot on those 2 Senate bills, like right now as we speak. Jamie voted no on 5450 today, 5451, 4127, and 4128. And I know that because I was watching how all these people were voting in real time as they were doing it. I know more about a lot of these reps' voting records than they do. Okay. I'm not talking about Jamie right now, just in general. I'll talk to a rep sometimes and be like, well, here was your vote on this. They're like, what was that again? I'm like, no, this is what it was. Well, how'd you know I voted on it? I'm like, well, I watch you. They're like, who watches this kind of crap? I'm like, well, with what the Dems are doing right now, you have to watch a lot of stuff. Stuff that you don't even like too much. Okay, that makes a little more sense then. Because I've just been sitting here in my head. And that's why I like it. What's happening, Ross? I'm going to jump off in just a second here, guys. We've been going almost an hour. This is why I like having smart people around me that remind me of things, because it just never occurred to me. Sometimes you just get like tunnel vision. I'm like, who votes straight ticket? Nobody votes straight ticket, because you still have all your ballot proposals you need to look at, your millages, your judges. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff, okay? There's all kinds of stuff. And look, I told you guys this earlier, and now we have confirmation. This is on good accord. I mean, you can't get any higher accord than this right here. Jamie Thompson, state representative, says 2A community did make their voices heard. We were notified as a caucus. Keep it up, please. And she puts 6 exclamation points. I see Joe's in Jamie's district in the chat here and other people. Look, here's the deal, man. Men and women are out there, you know, ladies like her. She's out there on that floor with this nasty woman with a gavel up there just representing 90,000 people. And Europe's up there representing about 90,000 people. It's got to work both ways. They need to be there casting the votes to stand for we the people, and primarily and foremost their oath and the Constitution, right? But then you got to have their back too. You have to be heard. You can't just sit there and be quiet as a church mouse and sit in the corner and, you know, oh, I'm too lazy. Oh, my you know what hurts too much, my whatever. No, you can't do that. If we want to have this as a mandate from the people, we need to make our voices heard. Any new gun control, terrible. But they've backtracked a lot on these new Senate bills. They're doing the whole, oh, wait, my bad, my mistake. Who is this? There's so many of these. Paula Hanky. Like I said, you wouldn't believe some of the things people call some of these. I'm very professional. Don't call her Senator Paula Hanky Panky. Don't call her that, but some people do. Who else have we got here? Majority Leader Winnie Brinks. Dude, her spokesperson comes right out. This is top brass of the Senate, just so you guys know. Comes right out. Oh, our mistake. We didn't know. We accidentally crossed out this line and would criminalize like all CPL holders in Michigan and just make like millions of people criminals overnight. Oh, our bad. We didn't even notice and stuff. I mean, it's kind of cool when it comes to that, right? So there you guys go. Look, 2A EDU can call these reps and text them and senators all I want. One person calls them, they're just kind of like, okay. But when we all get together, that's when they actually notice. And you guys would be surprised. If one of your reps and or senators, it's called the Michigan rep and senator. You have to keep track of both, okay? If they get like even 10 calls about an issue in a day, that's enough if their staff's worth a dang to where they're pulling the representative or senator aside and saying, hold on, we had 10 people call about this. I don't know if you guys know that. like actual phone call coming in. Now, if you just sign a form letter, it doesn't mean as much because it's just like, okay, 100 people signed a form letter. And everyone has their own discretion. I'm just saying, generally speaking, this is even true on the national level. They get 100 form letters, but when people are actually calling and actually speaking, like taking the time to where, I don't know, you call and it says, this is Representative Jamie Thompson's office. How can I help you? No more gun control. Or we support Jamie Thompson voting no on these. If she gets 10 things, if Abby tells her, look, 10 people called and said, they want you to vote no on this bill, now you have their attention. Okay, whether it's for the Second Amendment or any other issue, you already have Jamie's attention on the Second Amendment, but it could be a bill saying the sky's blue. But if you want her to know there's something bad in that bill, if 10 people call one of those offices, I'm not joking, you have their attention. If 100 people call, now they're scrambling. They're going, where am I? What's going on? Speaker Tate, where are you? What do I do? And it can happen. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I suspect we're going to have revised Senate bills. Oh, what were they again? I should remember this by now. 857. Yeah, 857 and 858. I think they're going to be revised. They're still abhorrent. Still tell your representative and senator to vote no on even the updated versions. But if they're moving their ranks back, if they're moving them back some, I hope that gives you guys some motivation. And you don't have to take my word for it. Okay? But we have a representative that's in the heat of the battle. Current representative who was just reelected and just won by even a lot higher margin than she did before. So get in there, Joe. Encourage that representative. Tell a Representative Thompson, get in there like a bulldog. I'm serious. I want to see Bulldog Thompson in here in a couple weeks with some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Jamie says, remind the Detroit senators and reps that a lot of CPL holders are going to liquor stores and carrying to protect themselves, and they better revise these bills. Good point. Good point. Think about that. Let them know. Say, look, like these are your voters, dude. Like, and here's another thing to remind all your senators and reps. A CPL holder is a much higher propensity voter than one that isn't. Now, look, I know a lot of you guys don't have a CPL and you still vote, but there's literally stats on this. A CPL holder is extremely likely to vote, almost to the point where it's almost certain that a CPL holder is going to vote. And lots of Democrats have CPLs in Michigan. That's a big thing they don't want to admit to either. So, yes, I know it's one of those things where you're like, dude, my Detroit senator. No. Especially your Detroit senator right now. Look at the Muslim community, Dearborn, Hamtramck, other places. Was literally up there opening up for Trump rallies, endorsing Trump, giving like these super passionate speeches for Trump. Some of these traditionally deepest blue places in Michigan, and it's just real weird how these voting dynamics work. Many of these people are gun owners. Many of these people are CPL holders. So actually, in many cases, for many things, it's like, oh, well, my Detroit suburb rep, yeah, right. Remind them. I'll give you guys one right now, Representative Farhat. I just know by looking at their districts. That's one that, his voters will not be pleased. In my opinion, it would be very hard for him to get reelected if he keeps voting for gun control the way he is. This guy voted for gun control 4 times today, and I'm watching him vote. This is a Democrat. I'm like, oh my gosh, did he not notice how his district turned out for Trump? Like, some of these people are really, really like, look, I don't know what their strategy is, but it seems like they're trying their hardest to like not get reelected. Remind them of that. Say, look, there's a lot of CPL holders in your district, and there's an extremely high likelihood that a CPL holder votes. That's a good idea, isn't it? All right, guys. Well, if you're just joining, welcome. Hi, goodbye, as the saying goes. I'm going to jump off in just 1 second here. Go back to the beginning. Look, this is if still. I don't necessarily just believe, okay, the staff of Winnie Brinks, okay, but hey, if the House heard about it in caucus today, like I said, people are hearing about this stuff in Lansing right now. And they really just need to get rid of these bills, period, because it's still not okay. If they get rid of that part and still ban at those 3 buildings, that's not okay either, because no. But hey, look, it took us a while to get here. It's going to just take us a while to get out. Then we have to get the Republicans in, unless they can switch these elections at the last minute, which I hope not. But just keep an eye on that stuff. I'm not trying to get you guys riled up, but they are on the national and even state level trying to flip some of these elections back again. Election deniers, Putin must be colluding with the Democrats now. See, it's funny when turnabout's fair play against these people, right? But just keep your head on a swivel with all that. Let's stay focused on the Second Amendment right now, all of us, and then in your spare time, keep track of some of this other noise. But yeah, crazy stuff going on right now. So keep track of that. The Republicans just have to say no to everything for 2 years, and then hopefully there'll be a mandate from the Michigan people to get a constitutionally conservative governor in there and constitutional conservatives in the Michigan Senate. I mean, I know personally some of these representative elects that are coming in, oh, they are full of piss and vinegar right now. Like, some of these people are really constitutionally conservative that have just won. There's always going to be a rhino too, and we have to watch for them. But we just have to stop the bleeding during this lame duck, and you guys need to get more vocal and louder than ever right now. Okay? Just let them know, give them all kinds of heck, give them a bunch of reasoning. And when I say give them heck, I don't mean call them up with cuss words. They just dismiss you summarily. I mean, like, just put that pressure on and say, do you want to lose this election? Me and all my Democrat friends, you might say, if that's the truth, me and all my Democrat friends are business owners, and we carry, and we're CPL holders. Some of that stuff might change their mind a little bit. All right, let's see here. Wayne County has the highest number of CPL holders in Michigan. Absolutely. Lots of businesses and restaurant owners carry. Yes. What's up in the UP? Markinen. Okay, Markinen. I like him, actually. I'm going to be talking to him soon, too, as well, actually. Good job up there in the UP. You guys that flipped, look, I like Greg Markinen, but you guys that flipped Jen Hill's seat, wow, that was a big deal. Literally, hats off to the UP, guys. That was big time. The UP came in like super, super clutch in the Michigan House race. Like, that was a seat. You know what I mean? That was a seat that needed to be flipped. Donald, I put out a 14-minute video earlier that you might like, and I also talked about this at the beginning of the stream. We're just kind of winding down right now, just talking to my friends for a minute, which is important. That's what we need to do. And that's part of the reason I do these too. We get the information out in the beginning, and then we kind of just sit and talk to each other because we need each other in times like these. We have stuff to look forward to, but these Dems are really trying to stick it to us on the way out. Ooh, the Dems are scared to put up the gender bills and the popular vote bill. I was wondering why those didn't come up. Interesting. Interesting. I was telling you about those bills too the other night, Jamie. But it's like, it's crazy how this stuff works. What's happening, Gore? What's up? R.E. Iron Miner. Oh, yeah. Iron Miner is in like lots of iron in the UP. Flip the 109th. Wow. Had to find 10,000 new voters. Yeah. Look at our guy here. Iron Miner. He's saying like they literally were able to find 10,000 people that normally didn't vote to come in and get Jen Hill kicked out. Isn't that crazy? All right. Any of you just joining, feel free to rewind this live stream. If you want tons of in-depth coverage on this, I have live streams out yesterday and the day before. I'll be streaming again this Friday, Lord willing. And I also put out about a 14-minute video, just kind of concisely giving you guys, as quick as I could, 14 minutes to give you a rundown with a little bit of my commentary on these 6 House and Senate bills, some of which have passed the House today. Big Senate hearing tomorrow. And yeah, man, hopefully I'm coming back to report to you guys that they are going to alter and have to backtrack a lot on the CPL holders ban that they're trying to rush through. We still won't be happy about the bill, but I think we should be encouraged that we're getting them to backtrack. I think that's fair enough. And I definitely want to leave you guys on a positive note. So keep up the good fight. Lower Peninsula, Upper Peninsula, all of you good people out there. And hey, even some of you that don't live in Michigan that are just watching along, I really appreciate all of your encouragement. And I wish all of you the best wherever you're at. All right. Well, I will see you guys again soon. Make sure you're checking out my locals. Make sure you subscribe to my other censorship-free sites like that really mean site that YouTube doesn't like that rhymes with fumble, X, Myriad Social. I will see you guys over there where I'm always posting. Make sure you follow Representative Thompson on X, Facebook, and on YouTube. And I hope you guys are giving her and all of your good reps that are really trying to fight this stuff off tooth and nail, all the encouragement and support that you possibly can. And QD coming in with a $14 super chat. Thanks, man. He says, well, thank you, 2A. Well, I appreciate it, dude. And I like 14. I like the 14th Amendment. You know what I mean? A little bit. I don't like it as much as the Bill of Rights, but I like the 14th Amendment a little bit. Thanks. I appreciate it. I want all of you guys to stay encouraged. Yeah, man, maybe the Senate can somehow, on a miracle, stop some of this stuff that passed the House today, and I hope the Senate has to backtrack and gut the living crap out of this CPL holders ban bill, because the way it is written right now, again, timestamp, I'm doing this at 9:30 p.m., okay, on Wednesday. Hopefully by Thursday, these bills are drastically rewritten, and then we have to hope they don't pass because we don't want any more stuff getting banned from anywhere whatsoever. So thank you, QD, Anne Marie, and Mr. C for the super chats tonight. And I appreciate all of you guys who support in many ways on a regular basis. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching and have a good one.